Hello everybody, it is Sunday the 10th of November. I want to again talk about the truth. I want to talk about possibilities, and in the end I want to talk about this idea that all shall be saved, which is obviously what Jesus said it is the will of the Father that all shall be saved. And really thinking about a possibility of what we might be in and what we might be doing, that we are really, I think, that there is a power, might be a power out there that is using us like lab rats to get enlightened to truth. But we are not to reason why, we are but to do and die, and they get enlightened to the truth. I want to talk about all of that in this video. First of all, the truth. Again, the idea of one truth is, to my mind, idiotic. Yeah? If you look at the Creator as all possibilities, out of Him, diverse things are being created. Yeah? So he is the ultimate diversity, and what comes out of him will be depiction of ultimate diversity. So then the idea that one truth is there for all, or will work for all, is it is idiotic. Especially if you come more and more down to the level of the material, and it absolutely does not work. Yeah? Because what might be good for one could be poison to another. You can see that even in this world. Yeah, what is food for one is poison for another. What works in the Arctic to sustain life will not necessarily work in the rainforest or in the desert. Yeah, different ways, because of different environments, because of different possibilities, because of different creatures that live in those possibilities. Yeah? So to say just one is nuts. It can't be. But again, it is completely denying the diversity of the Creator when you say it's only one. And it is actually denying the truth that is all around you. That He is diversity. All possibilities. And then coming to us, because we find knowledge of the Creator and we run with that knowledge, and through running with that knowledge we are creating outcomes, which again should enlighten us to another knowledge, if we're test driving our thoughts of what this might be. Now again, I'm going back to the book I'm reading, Not in His Image, and the Gnostic, the pagans, let's say the pagans, there were different lines of thought even within the pagans, and they were discussing amongst each other. There was an ongoing dialogue about what the hell is going on, But they already had a completely different view of what they were in. And they were going with the diversity, with the several aspects of the Creator, and that those aspects were interacting with one another, creating outcomes. Yeah, that is what you see in the depiction of different deities. On a higher level, they're not worshipping those deities. Yeah, there's a meaning inside of those forms, a knowledge, an aspect of the Creator that does certain things. Yeah. So they lived in that idea. Christianity came with the idea of only one, which, as I said, to me is nuts. But, and here comes, because I was thinking even in the last few days, to now go back and say the pagans had the only truth. Because some might be going that way, and I'm definitely not going that way. I said in my videos before, there was lots of things wrong even in the pagan world. Yeah? They were not perfect. I just said this idea of looking at creation and at the Creator was the better view. from a foundation from where to go. It was the better foundation. Said there were other things in the pagan world that were not perfect. And here comes, and I've just come to that point in the book, and I've actually said it before. For instance, they had slaves, which we would now say is not a good thing. Again, that came out of a view that the pagans had of the creator, of the cosmos. And again, to them that was a view that was set in stone, unmoving. And that is the idea of predestination, of a predestined life. You are born a slave, you will remain a slave, because that was somehow preordained by a higher force that you should be a slave. So again, there is, and out of that view, again, that they saw as truth, out of that their societies were created. They were slaves. Now, in comes Christianity. Now, the one thing, or how it is described in the book, and I think it's very close to the truth, is the idea, well, there were two ideas in Christianity that the pagans went absolutely up against. One was the idea of the cross, the suffering that would bring enlightenment, yeah? Out of great tribulation, that whole idea. The pagans thought was nuts, so do I. But there was another thing in Christianity, and that is the possibility of self-determination. And that is actually contained in the phrase, "Your sins are forgiven me." The forgiveness of sin, believe it or not, is actually talking about the possibility of self-determination. That is to say that whatever comes next is not determined by what came before. And here we're going into quantum thinking, out of linear thinking into quantum thinking. And that again, to the pagans, was a no-no. There is no self-determination. Now, again, if you think about what was taught and done in the New Testament, it is actually completely bipolar. If you say that, or the way it's taught is completely bipolar. If you say there is only one way, it is the way of suffering, the way of denial of self, and you go to that heaven, and that is the only one in existence, and that is the only possibility. Yeah? And it is the way of suffering to get there. Then at the same time, Jesus was going around healing the sick. Hello? So if suffering gets you to that heaven, why are you healing them? Yeah? They are on their way to heaven. The more they suffer, the better. You see that there's already, but again, in that teaching again are two different choices, two different ways, two different possibilities. Christians only went the one way. So now if you put that all in one part and say you pick your choices, and that is how you create a reality, not by saying, once you've picked your choice, you have to run with it, obviously, for it to become a reality. And that's what we do. We pick choices, and then we make it a reality. A reality within ourselves first, and then it becomes a reality outside. But then to say there's only one truth, and then whatever someone said, you need to take it wholesale. Yeah, go wholesale pagan, or go wholesale Christian, or go... That is not see the choices that are inside of the teachings. And really take the puzzle pieces and create a new picture. So you could go with the pagan idea of, I would go with the pagan idea of the Creator being made out of parts. Knowing the parts, knowing the interaction of the parts. Yes, not just one. Fine. I would not go with the pagan predestination, but I would go with the forgiveness of sin, saying, at any point you have the choice to change, and you do change by making a new truth, your truth inside of yourself. Change in that way and become that and create a new outcome. And as I said, or you can go the way of the cross. Great denial of self, beating yourself down, creating all kinds of tribulation, and that will take you to God. It is a choice. There is a choice, and then really think about it. Does that sound in any way enlightened to you? You are the creator of outcomes. We are the creators of outcomes. Through our choices. So I see so many do that. They go from one teaching to the next. And they swallow wholesale all that they were taught. And then they find problems inside of the teaching. And I think you can find problems in any teaching you can go to, because there's both right and wrong. None of them has got a perfect. If we had a perfect teaching here somewhere, this would be a perfect world. It doesn't exist. So then the moment they see there's a mistake or something wrong in that teaching, something doesn't sit right, they throw the whole thing out. And they go to the next one. And the whole thing happens all over again. And they go just flutter from one to the other, endlessly, trying to find perfection. And it doesn't exist. I don't think we have it in this world. So, look at the ideas that we had and see what would actually serve us. Again, from the idea that the Creator is all possibilities, that He gives to all that are created out of Him, and everything is. And then see the diversity of forms and the needs of the forms. And even if you look at this world and you imagine there are other worlds that are built differently, that have different needs. So then if all knowledge is in the Creator, it's not all for us. We are not the only thing here or in creation. Not everything was meant for us. There is food for all in the Creator. Does not mean it's all for us. Because we are not all. We are something very specific. So is everything else. And they need specific food. And we need to learn to discern what is actually good for us in that field, or what was actually meant for us, what would actually work here in this possibility, and what won't. Right. Well, let me come to the last part, what I wanted to talk about, and that is, this idea that we are test driving thoughts and we create outcomes, and that somewhere, maybe, there are beings that are observers and watchers, and we are the rats in the lab. They put ideas into our head, we run with them without any kind of discernment whatsoever. We create outcomes, and up there somewhere somebody's sitting and says, oh, so that is the cause and the effect of that. Okay, that's interesting. I'm just enlightened to another knowledge. They are enlightened to the knowledge. We just do and die, and we never get enlightened to anything. We are just the lab rats, and all the glory and all the enlightenment goes to some beings up there that are watching this. So I think that's something that needs to change. We really need to think about what it is we're doing. And that we have choices. that there is not just one truth. Once you think there's only one truth, there's nothing to reason about. But there are choices that create outcomes. We are the creators of the outcomes. We are here doing the works. Then we should have the choice of what it is we're actually doing. Yet that choice should not be somewhere else. Worse, be somewhere else with a being that is not even of this world. And that does not experience this world itself. It does not experience the pain, or they do not experience the pain. They have removed themselves from that. We are the ones that are experiencing the pain. Right. What I wanted to talk about is this idea, all shall be saved. Again, there is a destiny. There is a destiny that we're going toward. All shall be saved. We make that our truth. We make that our desire. We are going to be given. We're going to be guided toward that destiny. Yeah? I mean, it's like people are saying we are kind of working against ourselves. You know, in many things that we do, we're holding ourselves back. Actually, that is what we do. We have a destiny in our head, whether we came up with that destiny ourselves or it was planted in our head by some higher whatever. And it is simply the thing that there's something that becomes us, a desire that becomes us, and we are being given according to that desire, and we're being led toward the outcome of all shall be saved. And we will know the truth. The answer to that desire, all shall be saved, because we will be the prats here experiencing it. We will have the knowledge of it. What it is, all shall be saved. What is that? We are the ones that will experience that. Now, if we think about this a little bit, just a little bit, it doesn't actually take much. Engage our brain. For us to experience all shall be saved, then first of all the conditions for that have to be met. And for all to be saved, all will have to be in danger. Because otherwise that wouldn't work. So we are, again, through great tribulation, we are being led in that way. We are going there unconsciously. We're going into the tribulation where all are in danger in order to experience all shall be saved. And we are the ones doing it. Really need to wake up to what it is we are doing, what it is we're asking for, because we are being given the answer, the experience of the answer. We're being given that. So there are, honest to God, there are things we should not ask. We should really think about what it is we're doing. We are interacting with something, with the Creator. We're asking for a knowledge. We're asking for the knowledge that all shall be saved. In order for it to be given that knowledge, all will have to be in danger. That's the tribulation we're going through. Coupled with the idea there is only one. Again, that's another idea that's been put into our heads. We're going toward that destination. All shall be saved by one. Only one. And we will live the outcome. And again, this is not predestined. This is a choice. You made a choice. There are other possibilities. It is not predestined. You have chosen that as your truth and you're going toward it. You are the one that can change its way. We can change our way by looking at this differently and making different choices. This is not the only truth. The one truth does not exist. Only possibilities. But as I said, now a different way. The thing is, we are looking for the one. Most of this world does look for the one that will come and do it all. Is there a possibility of all shall be saved? But the salvation will take strictly regional forms. Again, salvation in the desert will look different from salvation in the Arctic or salvation in the jungle or any other place in the world. Because we are different pieces with different needs, and we are, according to the Creator, we are diversity, and He will give to every part according to its needs. But then we must get out of the block thinking of one. And then really somebody, if you go to that thinking, then somebody in the Arctic and what they know as truth, because it serves them, and that is truth. The Creator gives to all. He's the giver of life, He's the sustainer of life. Yeah? So then the people in the Arctic would know what is their truth is not the only truth in town. And that is again, and then we do not have to go to war with somebody in the desert because they are doing something different. We would know that that is also a truth. They were given differently because they are in a different environment. There would be no need for war or for judging others for being different. But we know it is all truth. It is all the Creator. It's different knowledge of Him because He is all. But as I said, this idea of one and going toward one point, and we have to go through tribulation in order for all to be saved. And then one can only give one possibility, in which case we become clones of each other. There will be no more diversity in this world because there's only one possibility. And it's the complete destruction of diversity. That's what Christianity is. It is complete destruction of diversity. And therefore the truth of the Creator, because that is the truth of the Creator. It is diversity. And again, to the beginning, the pagans were actually closer to that truth of diversity, of parts. And that parts can give to one another. Yeah? And you do not have to take what the other tells you as truth. You can consider it to see if it would work for you. And if it doesn't, say, thank you very much for offering this, but it doesn't work for me. And that's fine, because that is how it is. So, in that aspect, they had the better idea. In the aspect of your sins are forgiven, the aspect of self-determination, not predestined, I would say the Christians had the better idea. Yeah? Pick and choose out of all the possibilities that are presented to you. You have the choice. And out of your choice, you will create realities. So start picking and choosing, because that is the way. And just one last thought here, and that is this idea of the sins are forgiven thee and not predestined. If you think that we came here from different places, yeah, and Jesus may well have come from a heaven that was a complete dictatorship, a hive mind, yeah, then this idea of you can change when you are here, that was true also for him, and he did not do it. he reverted back to what it was he came from before. Although he preached the forgiveness of sin and therefore the possibility of self-determination, he did not take that for himself. But he was here to make disciples to his heaven, to bring others to that reality that he came from, which is also a possibility. Obviously, it's working in a big way at the moment. Everybody's going to that heaven to be ruled over by the one. Again, we are all asking, where did we come from? Where must we return to? Or should we take the possibility of we are here, forget about where you came from? This is the possibility where you can have your own free will to create yourself and to create a world. Why not take that? Your sins are forgiven thee. It is no longer determined of where you came from. You are at the beginning of a new start. Why not take that as a possibility and work with that? And again, you will create a reality out of that. See, this is the thing. There are choices. The Creator is choices. It is not the one that rules over. So why do we not start behaving as if we have choices? There's a novel idea. Let's all behave as if we have actually choices. See if that will become a reality. Anyway, folks, here I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon. Bye.